If only I could finish something, run straight through to the end, close a chapter dignified. Damn, girl, you did it again. But will it ever be enough when I'm bent on trying to keep it tough? Will I ever
So I've still been off of social media, and I feel so much resistance going back, but at the same time I feel like I need to go back on there with a plan to come off and to get people onto other platforms. I thought we'd take a little outing today to the coffee shop because my friend Julie is here, so I thought it would be cool to rehash the trip with her a little bit and to just talk about the changes we want to make to the workbook.
Learning about myself, I think collaboration is just something that really energizes me, and every time I meet up with a business friend for coffee or have a chat or whatever, I just feel so inspired, and I think there's just this mutual energy about connecting with someone who gets it, especially from a business perspective or a creative perspective, that you just can't replicate, you know? And I think I felt this way too about just our chats that we've had in the Discord community. And I don't know, regardless of whether you have a business or not, just getting to talk with like-minded people who care about the same things is just really special. And I think that's why I've had such a hard time processing or figuring out how to even share about the Iceland trip, because it was just so meaningful. I mean, I can feel myself getting emotional about it. It was amazing. I can't even talk about it yet. I will figure out how to express it, but all I can say is it was just the most amazing week of all of the things that I love, and something that I think I needed just as much as everyone else. And oh my god, it kind of, what I thought I would be helping people with on this trip with the workshops and the masterminds helped me just as much. And there are just now so many things that I want to do and add and change to my business to feel even more aligned in this trajectory that I feel like I've already been going in and have been sharing with you for the last couple of years, but it feels like it's actually culminating now into this thing that I'm like, what? This is really it? Like, this is it, actually. I know this is all very vague and kind of woo-woo, but I was literally listening to my Chatty app yesterday. She always has, like, an episode of, the reading for your week based on your signs. And again, it sounds so woo, and I'm into it, and I'm up for it. But it was talking about how this year and the way things are aligning is a year of major transformation and stepping into something big that is more true to you and aligned with you, and the culmination of all the seeds that you've been planting, and another shift in your path. And in this same reading, she talked about how the last time you might have experienced this was 2017. And I literally was like jaw on the floor, because 2017 for me was a year that I took a trip to India with one of my best friends. I've talked about it a bunch in past videos, but I took this trip to India that literally changed my life and put me on an entirely new path. And I think it's just the power of travel. And if you've traveled, or if you haven't, but like any experience that like takes you out of your day-to-day bubble and opens your mind to how other people live, a new experience, or just a different way of doing things will do that. But doing it in a container with other people and getting to just have these really amazing conversations that just lead to so many things, and just these breakthroughs inside. I mean, I felt this while I was on the trip myself, just from having the conversations and from finding ways to better facilitate and create the safe space for everyone to connect and to learn and grow together. It's just hard to describe and really powerful. But anyway, back to 2017. After getting back from that trip, it made me realize that I needed to quit my career job. And that is also the same year, that fall was also the same time that I sold my first hats. I got my hats into Ohana, the local shop, and kind of when Smini started, my business started. And that following spring, I left that job and started working on the farm that gave me the income stability, but also the time to start both of my businesses that I have now been running for going on 8 years. This is the 8th year, I guess, running the business. And now this year will be the first year that I'm only doing Smini, not my other business as well. And just, I got emotional earlier just even thinking about it. Oh my god. I feel like it's all bubbling. Oh my god. I feel like I've just been so emotional this last week. Like, more than normal. But I think if you told me when I started this business 7 years ago that I would be leading a group trip with a group of other creative women that had small businesses or are aspiring to have a small business and seeking this alignment and living with your values and living more intentionally and mindfully, I would be like, what are you even talking about? This is out of control. Like, I feel like I have changed so much on this journey. I feel like how my business has changed has kind of gone along with my personal growth journey. I feel like the last 2 years have been exponential in that growth as well. And not by growth like my business has expanded, but like growth like knowing myself more and then figuring out how to realign my business to match that even more. I mean, I feel like a broken record. Like, I talk about this every video, but after this trip, coming back from this trip, I am just like, it's amazing. And I thought going into it, I was like, I want to do like 1 or 2 a year. Like, this would be so cool, to get to travel and combine these things that I love, like traveling and intention and seasonality and like, I don't know, creating these spaces and just hanging out with a bunch of gal pals. And it was just like slumber party vibes, like staying up late chatting and, we'd have our masterminds or workshops, and then everyone would just want to hang out and like we'd just be knitting or drawing and talking, playing cards. I don't know. It was just amazing. And I don't know where I was even going with all of this, but this week has just been me, I think, figuring out how to express and process this trip with you here on the vlog. And the feedback I've already gotten, I'm just like floored by how people have felt about it. And one of the gals today was telling me about the podcast that she and one of the other gals will be starting, and this other gal is talking about moving, and something that she has been thinking about doing for a long time, but the trip is like really giving her this confidence and, you know, makes her know that it's the right choice. I mean, just so many big life changes that are happening as a result of the trip that I did not anticipate as part of what this experience would do for people. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised, because I have had many drastic life changes from trips that I've gone on, not even in a group like this, but just trips in general. So it's like, let alone with a group like this. But yeah, so many thoughts. I'm sure there will be more to come. I'm excited to plan another one. But yeah, so this week I'm really just catching up with things post-trip. Ohana is going crazy right now, so I'm kind of like, okay, I can't focus on all of this new stuff yet. It's still winter. I need to slow it back down and just focus on this knitting. But I just wanted to share with you. Thank you for letting me be open and vulnerable with you. Okay, I went back. I finally posted a couple of stories yesterday on Instagram, and it's just so weird to be back there for some reason. Like, I don't know, when you were gone from it for so long, it's like, hi, how's it going? So I kind of just gave a little bit of a recap on the Iceland trip and what I've been doing, and just sharing that I do plan to come off of Instagram, or at least post on there much less, and hopefully people will start coming over to Discord or joining the newsletter or the YouTube channel. So, you know, that's kind of my thought process behind it. Like I mentioned before, I just really want to be intentional about it, you know? Like, I don't want to ghost my community that I've built there, and there's definitely still a lot of people who even, like, messaged me on Instagram that were like, I've missed you, like, I don't know how to use Discord, but I will try, you know, that kind of thing, which feels really cool. But, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of a struggle, and very exciting. I had a meeting with my trip rep yesterday to kind of just go over the Iceland trip and to talk about how it went, and I still just can't even put into words like how amazing the trip was. If you're watching and you were on the trip, it was just so amazing to be there with you, and I hope you feel the same as I do. Like, I truly just am floored by the experience. And right now I'm working on planning another trip for some time later in the summer, so if you have been wanting to come on one of these trips, there might be an opportunity soon. And there's a few locations that I'm thinking that would work well for that time of year, and I've been trying to keep in mind, you know, we'll do something far away, we'll do something closer, we'll do something far, we'll do something close. Some will be more adventurous and strenuous, like camping and hiking. Others might be more relaxing or like activity based. So I don't know, let me know your thoughts. Like, where would you want to go? But coming back from the trip, it was just so powerful and impactful. And right now, especially if you live in the US, things are just wild. Like, it feels like a dumpster fire. And being away on this trip with this community of like-minded women, I just was like, having community and being able to connect on a deeper level just feels so important right now, more than ever. Because if you're like me and you're a values-driven business owner, or are striving to incorporate your values more into your business, I think it's just knowing that you're not alone, and just having the tools and being in community with people who are on the same path, whether it's a business or just the way they're living their life and moving through the world. Like, I don't know, it's just so powerful, and I feel changed, you know? And being on this trip just really felt like the true meaning of community. Like, I feel like I was able to help the people that came, and they helped me, you know what I mean, on my path. But regardless of whether you come on my trip or someone else's trip, I hope you get the opportunity to do something like that, and I'm excited to do more of them. But it's a beautiful day. I'm gonna go meet my friend Kate for a little coffee walk, and I'm still just buzzing from this trip. Okay, this is the problem. I have just spent way too much time on social media trying to just catch up with things that I've missed, answer and respond to the comments and DMs that I've gotten while I've been gone. Not everything, of course, because that's impossible. And I just spent like 2 hours just doing that and trying to like craft a post to like start sharing about what happened in the 6 weeks that I was off. I was off of Instagram for 6 weeks, and I think off of Threads for 3 weeks. Like, I didn't even open the apps. You know, it's not even that I didn't post. I didn't even open the apps, which was so, so nice. And I feel like it's just, I'm still so conflicted over it. And I thought that having that much separation and break would feel, you know, exciting to go back on, especially after the Iceland trip when I'm so excited and energized from that trip and have so much to share. And I don't know, just wanting to continue to create more community and create these spaces. But for some reason, getting back on there, I'm just still feeling so much resistance. And maybe it's because of being this like values-led small business owner where I'm like, I am just so misaligned with the values of Meta. But then feeling like, okay, the reason I'm here is to take up space and to create a safe space. And the other part of it, I think, is I just do feel this responsibility and intentionality for what I do share. And so I can't just be business as usual and be like, oh, here's some pretty pictures from my 6 weeks away. See ya, you know, without saying anything or addressing anything. But then at the same time, I'm like, ugh, I just feel so tired. Like, I feel like I got so much time back when I wasn't on social media. And with that time, I feel like I was actually able to make more impact or take more action on these causes, you know? And like, we've had some really amazing chats in the Discord community, both just text in the channels and on video calls. I feel like I've been able to like donate and like put more intention behind the newsletter. I feel like I've equally been trying to at least be aware of what's going on, but then shut it off, go away, get outside, do some knitting, talk to people, meet up with someone in real life, you know what I mean? And we can't take action on the things we care about when we're exhausted. And I feel like right now, social media still feels exhausting. So I know I told you I would come up with a good plan for coming off and to come back intentionally. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, oh, it was so nice being gone and so cup filling to be with all of the people that were on the trip, to have these discussions offline, to connect in real life. And I'm just so energized and excited to be putting this next trip together already because I feel like it's just so needed right now. And I know there was a ton of people who were like, I can't make it to Iceland, but I hope you do another one. And I'm like, I am definitely going to do another one. It's so needed, especially right now. And I hope to create more spaces for what we experienced in Iceland in a more accessible way. But yes, thank you for letting me rant and vent that out. That's what getting back on social media has done to me.
Who told you that it was too late? When was it that you started leaning that way? Four tires cut into the clay. It dries up and now there's just one road to take. It's growing up over with green. So easy to drive on, but not what it seems. The poison.
Good morning. We have to jump right in today because I spent way too much time and stayed up too late just getting caught in the stupid scroll. And I'm kind of mad at myself because I've been off for so long and it was so nice and I feel like my system felt so regulated. I don't know. It's been a struggle. So it's not going well so far. And I think I said this yesterday, but I feel like I have some like responsibility when I share things on there and, you know, raising awareness about stuff. But I'm just like, I don't want to do that. Can I just share some pictures from my trip and things like that? And I think I can. It's more just like navigating all of the crazy things going on right now. And I think that's part of just being resilient, is managing that and setting up boundaries and being intentional and having real conversations offline, you know what I mean? Or like more intimate online groups like on Discord, which brings me to, I've been part of this really amazing workshop. It's like a 6-week workshop with my friend Syringa and Pine, but she's been hosting this 6-week series on wintering with intentions. So we've been meeting once a week and going over journal prompts and tarot cards, and it's been really lovely. So last night's session was all about stillness and finding that intuition and, you know, how that is looking in our lives. And I ended up pulling the healing card last night, and I just love the art of these cards. But we were talking about how stillness and intuition is intertwined, and I feel like this got brought up a lot when we were in Iceland during the mastermind sessions, but it's very hard to find clarity when we aren't still. And we seem to just distract ourselves so much, or just we have such busy schedules and lives, and we never give ourselves the chance to sit and process a lot of our emotions or things that we're going through, both from a physical and an emotional level, things in our business. And it's kind of this theme that I've been seeing over and over, and what I've been trying to share in the videos from the last few weeks is using winter and January to really slow things down. And that doesn't mean not doing things for your business, because we still have to run a business, but it means being intentional about allowing yourself to reflect and process, because it's hard to find clarity if you're just go, go, go. And it reminded me also of this other lesson that's like, clarity also comes from action and not thought. And I feel like often people just get caught up in making plans and thinking about all these things and then never actually taking action. And the path just unfolds when you start taking action. And I feel like I've been on this journey, and I'm so excited to share so much more with you. I think I mentioned that I just feel like all of this transformation and pivot is just snapping into place, especially after the Iceland trip. And it just comes from action, and more clarity will come. But I think it's hard to take action when you don't give yourself the chance to actually sit and take a step, you know, and decide intentionally what that step will be. But it all goes hand in hand. And it's just been nice being part of this group of people who wants to chat about it. So I'm sharing that with you. But back to jumping right in this morning, I meant to palm and tag all the beanies yesterday to bring to Ohana this morning. It's Friday, and I am almost sold out of hats there. So speaking of keeping our businesses going, I really need to buckle down and get all these hats palmed and tagged.
Every living thing. Who told you that you were no good? There's no use in trying, and even if you could, it wouldn't come out like it should. This stubborn kudzu just covers these words. Could you listen to somebody else? Will you only drink from the thoughts of yourself? Are you under the canopy spell? You dig in your heels and spread the disease. You're spreading the disease.
Well, that was really cute. I was walking in with my big bin of hats, and there was a gal that was like, "Oh, you knit beanies," and she literally was just, before I could even put the bin down, like started coming to try them on. I'm like, okay, but Ohana was like almost out. They had like 3 left, so I'm really glad I brought some in, but I'm here for happy hour with the gals.
Could you hike back to it, fight with it, sit with it? This is a part of it all. Ask around, be aware, make peace with what is there. This is a part of it all. Ooh.
Well, I was just talking to the camera for like 5 minutes and didn't realize I didn't hit record. But what I was saying was, I've been back from Iceland for about a week, and I just have so many thoughts, and I've shared so much already, but I feel like I need to make an entire video just from my reflections from the trip, because I've had so many revelations about my business, and it's like I had all of these ideas already swirling, and I've been in this pivot and transition for a long time with a plan, but things just feel so much more clear now. And I think it's just another example of how once you begin taking action, the rest of this path just begins to unfold in front of you and becomes more clear, and there will never be a true end goal, I guess, because the journey of discovering the path is so exciting and is constantly evolving and changing, and that's really the point, I think. Like, that is the goal, is to be evolving and changing and learning and growing, and I feel like this trip really emphasized that for me. But yeah, it's been a wild week getting back too, because I was riding on this high from the trip, but there's just so much happening right now in our country. And I was off of Instagram for 6 weeks, and I came back on briefly. And I'm just trying to navigate all of that as a business and what it looks like moving forward, because I feel like the culture of Instagram and social media has changed quite a bit. There has been a major shift. But I'm like, okay, what does that look like for me as a business? What does that look like for small businesses in general? How can we navigate this in a mindful and intentional way? Because ultimately, we do need a way to reach people to buy our products, or to share about our services, or to help people, right, through our businesses that are driven by values and advocacy. So there's a lot to navigate. I think I'm going to make an entire video just about that too. Let me know if that's something you want to see, or let me know if there's any like topics or questions that you want me to talk about in a video, because I feel like most of my videos are just vlogging, and when I think of something, I just talk about it. But if there's a specific topic that you want me to talk about, or even just like a Q&A, let me know. But yeah, it's been lovely having these chats too in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, it's free to join. There's a link down below. But I hope you're finding some stillness this week. I hope you're taking care of your mental health and your physical health. I hope you're finding some joy too, because we need that to keep moving forward. But as always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching and being part of this journey. And I will talk to you in the next video.